once in a while, something very special comes along. That could be a beautiful watch, a special edition, or a beautiful car like an E-Type Jag, something that's remembered for eternity. And in this case, the Royal Enfield Classic 650 may just well be one of those things. This Royal Enfield Classic 650 is a perfect marriage between functionality and beauty, and it is a jaw-droppingly gorgeous motorcycle. Wherever you stop, people look at it and come and talk to you. When you're riding along, people look out of their windows in the cars and wave at you. It's one of those motorcycles that draws attention, and rightly so, because it is an absolute beauty.
Now, we first saw this motorcycle in India at the Royal Enfield Motoverse Festival, which is an unbelievable, huge festival of Royal Enfield motorcycles in Anjuna. It's one of the most incredible things you'll ever witness. And they had this bike on display, but because it was such a hectic, busy day, we didn't get much time to look at it properly. And when I saw it in the dealership at Royal Enfield in Peterborough, where we got this bike from, I just couldn't believe the attention to detail on this motorcycle. They really have thought thoroughly about this bike, about all the details. And the first thing that I noticed is how incredible these switch gears are, because most motorcycles these days have ugly plastic, big, bulbous, hideous, cheap switch gears. And some of them, for example, on the BSA Gold Star, really just don't suit the bike. It looks like sports bike switch gears on a classic motorcycle. It's horrible. These are absolutely stunning. They're metal, they're chrome, the quality is outstanding. The handlebar clamps are a beautiful shape. What a fabulous design. So when you sit on this bike, your view of the road ahead is just fantastic, and it will put a smile on your face for miles and miles.
They've taken the same instrument binnacle from the Classic 350, which is in itself a beautiful thing, and put it on here, and it's subtle and it's classy, and you've got this lovely analogue speedometer in the centre, the key on the left, and the tripper, which Darcy will tell you about in a minute. Absolutely perfection. And there's another little feature on this bike that a lot of people may not have noticed. It's subtle but very special. If you look at the right hand lever there, the foot lever, it looks like a gear lever, but it's obviously the brake lever. But it pays homage to motorcycles from the 1960s, 70s, 50s, British motorcycles that used to have the gear shift on the right. And that was changed in about 1975-ish to even out the market globally. Americans wouldn't allow motorcycles with right-hand gear shifts after that date. So that's the reason they became on the left. But that's a beautiful thing, that's a little subtle detail that not many people would have recognised.
Now, I love minimalism on a motorcycle, and I don't like clutter and things that look ugly. And this tripper nav on the dash here is a fabulous example of minimalism that works perfectly. It's a beautiful round design, it's very small, it doesn't detract from the bike in any sense, but it's really handy. And I connected it through the Royal Enfield app, and it uses Google Maps, and you can turn your phone off, the screen off, and have it in your pocket and go for a ride, and it will tell you left, right arrow, when the next turning is, whether it's 2 miles away, whether it's 30 meters away, it will tell you. So that is a fabulous design, and it does away with any clutter and no stupid screens like you get on some bikes. This is just fantastic. Now, when we rode away from the dealership and I sat on the bike for the first time, it's a lovely riding position, especially for someone of my height. It's perfectly roomy. You can move back enough on this seat to get in the right position. The feet position is lovely. A lovely knee bend, not too far back. That's perfect. These bars have got a nice sweep back. It's stunning. It really is. And it's ever so comfortable. When I rode through the Fens, which, if you don't know, in England the Fens have got terrible roads because it used to be marshland, so the ground underneath the road is very soft, so the road sinks in bits. There's lots of undulations and potholes, and this bike soaked it up fantastically. So this will be really good for the Indian roads as well. As I said, the suspension is absolutely fantastic on this bike. It's a lovely gentlemanly ride, this motorcycle. Nothing about it is brutish. It's the sort of bike you want to get on, go for a nice gentle ride in the countryside, and you could show up anywhere on this bike and it commands respect. It really does. Not only is the suspension fantastic in the way it functions, but it is beautiful. These front forks are absolutely stunning. I love these metal covers that you've got on the forks there. I really like this metal sort of shroud there. That's really nice. And in India, that would have the number plate on the front there. They have a sort of thin number plate on the front. This front headlamp cowl is beautiful. Absolutely stunning, machine polished metal. It's got a beautiful classically designed front mudguard that covers most of the wheel, so it's going to protect the engine very nicely from any muck and grime on the road. It's perhaps not quite as beautiful as the classic 350 mudguard, but it's pretty damn close.
Now, of course, you may recognise this 650cc engine that's seen in all the Royal Enfield 650s, but this one has been calibrated, in Royal Enfield's own words, for a graceful and unhurried ride. And you do feel that with this bike. It is gentlemanly. I like to use the word gentlemanly. It's a gentleman's motorcycle. And sometimes you don't want to have a bike that you're going to have to rag along and go really fast and really crazy. You just want to pootle along, look at the beautiful view, stop off somewhere as pretty as this, and just enjoy the experience of being out and about. And this is a motorcycle that you can do that on and enjoy not only the places you visit, but the actual bike, because it's beautiful and comfortable and really easy to ride. Now, you've got these lovely spoked wheels, but one detail that really stands out is the hub in the centre is a beautiful, shiny, polished finish. That looks lovely. That's the front and rear. The engine finish is really shiny and beautifully done as well. There are 3 colours in the UK. There are more colours in India. And also you have these beautiful exhaust pipes, one either side, and they're absolutely stunning, like a pea shooter exhaust. The sound is very nice, and of course it has to comply with current regulations. But that could be changed if you need to. But if you want to be gentlemanly, it's perfectly fine, and it does sound nice.
The engine in this motorcycle produces slightly less power than the other 650s in the lineup. It produces 46.4 brake horsepower at 7,250 RPM and 52.3 newton meters of torque at 5,650 RPM. So the torque peak figures are slightly higher up in the RPM range on this bike compared to the other 650 models. So the price of this motorcycle in this colour is £6,499 in the UK. What a bike for the money. Unbelievable. This might be one of the most value for money bikes I've ever seen. That is so much bike for the money, and the quality of all the parts is just fabulous. And I'm not just saying this. If you don't believe me, go into a dealership and have a look at one, and I will challenge you to tell me that these parts are not high quality. It really is. There's 2 other colours in the UK, which are the black and chrome, which is £6,799, and the teal, which is £6,599. So all of the colours are fantastic value for money. We'll put the prices on the screen in lakhs as well for the Indian viewers. But what a load of bike for the money. Unbelievable. Royal Enfield, you've done it again.
Now, the bike comes with this pillion seat here and the pillion pegs, of course. Now, if you didn't want to have that and you wanted to ride solo all the time, this unbolts very easily, so you can take it off and then you can see that beautiful classic rear mudguard, and the bike looks even more stunning like that. The handling on this classic 650 is very nice. It's very plush, it's very comfortable, it takes the corners very nicely, it's very stable in a straight line, it's easy to manoeuvre at slow speeds. And it's not a bike you would expect to go around corners and scrape something, because if you did lean it over very heavily, you would scrape something, but you wouldn't ride it like that. It's not that sort of motorcycle, so don't think that at all. And as far as the weight goes, some people may think it's quite a heavy motorcycle, but it's 100 kilograms lighter, near enough, than a BMW R18.
Now this bike has a side stand and a centre stand, and with both of these stands you need to be a little bit careful with your foot that you don't scrape the exhaust pipe, especially the centre stand, because especially with my size 11 massive feet, it's quite hard for me not to hit the exhaust. And if you're a little bit OCD like I am, you'll be out with a microfiber cloth polishing it off after you've scuffed it. This bike weighs 243 kilograms, so it's heavier than a lot of other Royal Enfields, but when you compare it to similar bikes in its class, it's not that heavy. For example, if you compared it to a Harley Davidson, even an Iron 883, this is about 20 kilograms lighter. The fuel tank is 14.8 litres and it's a beautiful shape. I love the paint job on this. I really like the written Royal Enfield logo, that is stunning. And it gets around 60 UK miles per gallon official figures.
Got beautiful adjustable levers here with a little knob you twiddle there to adjust the reach for your size of hands. You've got a tiny little USB-C port there. You just flip up the little thing, which is very nice detail. Hardly notice it. You've got a cable clutch. You get a lovely feel with the cable clutch, very direct. And you've also got a cable throttle, which is direct and very beautiful as well. So everything about this bike fits, and it's as classic as you can be in today's modern world. So if you want a motorcycle like this, go down to your dealer, put your money down and buy one. You will not be disappointed. If you want to see more of the Royal Enfield Classic 650 on this channel, then please subscribe, or if you love modern classic motorcycles and true classic motorcycles, you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment. We'd like to know your thoughts on what you think of this motorcycle as well.